Steffi calls it that, and it is just such a beautiful way to get out of the way and to say thank you, Maple, for your flow, and to my shadow for helping me know what I do about myself so that I can extract that which was in the experiences I went through in order to show up to be me in this moment when I say we must find our inner magic. It is to say that magic with a K is about letting the kundalini of a balanced divine masculine and feminine rise to the table that allows us to move the shadow and the focal point of our story of origins, which is where we see the djinn of the genie and the magic of the weenie that casts the spell that can take us to hell or bring us back home into our heart center. My friend Neil Sperling, the Twisted Lightworker, messages me just to send love in the moment that I say that after having said in the chat, not my chat, of the Peaceful Inner Warriors United Assembly on Telegram, which is where I am most active within the online realm right now, outside of the videos that I do share to YouTube and Instagram occasionally, and Facebook through that mode, and then TikTok I haven't been on for a while, but I think I'm going to. I think it is time for me to remind myself of where I was not so long ago and where I am now and why the difference makes a difference and matters now more than ever because it's where I am. And that is where I can command my pen, which literally I have in the fingers that hold the camera, which mean that whole construct is occupied territory, as is this hand, because it's where my sketchbook is in hand, because Woodlawn Art Farm is a place where artists come to create lives. We love living because we take personal responsibility. As a fly hits me in the third eye, quite literally, fly by, drive by, oh my, oh my. There's so much to be said around discovering your inner magic, to be led back home to your heart center instead of the home that is in Rome. We just forgot that it was an R-O-A-M, not R-O-M-E, for that is the Om of the Omi, eh? Oh, Mr. Maximus is enjoying being outside on this beautiful day, and I am in an incredible space because that is where the grace of my life has led me to in this moment, where the sap is flowing. And I am standing here knowing that I have done the very best that I could to bless as many as I could to not be less you, but to say the who is you, and that is what we get back to the fact of. As I got distracted down many rabbit holes that would not just take Alice back to the Cheshire Cat, who my friend Rosemary said today was the chess hire cat, because it is a master chess game where we are here to master us and the name that we came to know our character as. And so it is time for us to embody more characters in our name than just one. And that's why we've had the fun of all the roles that we've taken on as the souls who incarnate into vessels we must care for, that we must allow to shine and stand as the trine behind me does. And then I say that today I am going to actually do a few little handstands because it's fun and I can, and my cat, that is what you should actually have a view of, because he is me little feline, the wee lion, you know what I'm saying. No lion. I can go up and then point my toes in order to direct me. That's better. And then I feel the seas in my arm a little bit. But I say there ain't no holy CDs here. As I flip myself upside down and say no fear. I trust myself to have me own back. And so I can in fact walk on me hands. No, that is not true. I cannot move once I go up that way unless I am off balance, in which case then sometimes I will walk forward, but otherwise I stay. Hands in one spot is when I went down and up at the same time. You got to know how far some will go to make us be other than we are, because they're not comfortable with themselves. Oh, how could they accept us if they don't even know how to accept themselves? So how could they let you be something the world has never seen before? Why not let ourselves be loved and held just like a wee child? Where we can play in nature and say, if you haven't liked this yet, why not? Energy exchange is easy if you let it be, and I have not given you an opportunity to give back to me, because I haven't needed it. And generally, no, that's not true. When I did need it and I didn't get it, it was a big reality check, actually. And so, yes, there's a whole lot to that. And offering value and receiving value is real. So, I just wanted to share with you today where my mind went, and the fact that we are here to play as the masters of the board that do not get bored being on boards. And we only get on board vessels that are unclaimed by a common shore, where the sheep will be shorn of their fur, their wool. Whoa. So, what do you think? And are you moving? Are you grooving as you're doing your thing? Navel, navel, belly button, really? That's all you gotta say? YouTube is amazing. All right, I'm being a little facetious. Well, I'm not. It surprises me how little contribution. Oh, but that is nice. Previous real comments, those are nice. Farhad, somebody's held for review. Oh, lots of hearts. Well, that's nice. Potentially inappropriate messages held for review. Oh, woohoo. Can you show me your navel? Ew. As if you can't see enough of it. There might be some obsession. Maybe you should be removed from the channel. How interesting. Book down, please. It's distracting, is it? Well, it's almost been 10 minutes, and nobody seems to be on now, which at one point I saw there were 23. So I wonder why. There is a jump off, a fall off. I wonder where you nod off. I wonder why you don't stay for the whole thing if you don't, and if you don't, give a like as a minimum. Since I can't monetize this channel, I got a warning that I won't do the retraining for, which means this can be shorn of me at any time, and then you just won't be able to find me, which is why, if you haven't already joined the Telegram group, Peaceful Inner Warriors United Assembly, you'll want to, because I won't always be here on this platform, because what I share is real. And that means it's relatable, ethical, altruistic, and loving, which is the acronym for REAL that I believe would serve us to consider when we are talking about what it means to be real with one another. Because relatability has respect somewhere in its equation. It's important to bring respect, and that's what we must get back to. So I hope that we will be more respectful and recognize the vessel that transports the soul through this life matters. And if we take care of it, then we will be able to enjoy what it can do for longer. And that is why next month I am going to be leading people into an uncharted experience inward, where you will not be a ward to any system no more, for you will actually know that individual needs necessitate emotional resilience, resonance, and respect. So once we get back to that inner experience, I said it at 11:11 too, which I love, hence the snap. So that is fun. And so are a lot of things. So I've taken enough of your team today and never got to the money part, because that is not what is really most useful, except for it is also necessary. It is vital, because in the scheme of things, there are projects that are afoot that need to have resources backing them in order to actually reach those who need to know about the populares faction of ancient Rome that Julius Caesar led against Pompey, who rode for the elite, or the Optimates faction. Different factions which are fractions of the whole, because Caesar, who seized your stuff, was the Count of the Excubitors. Do you know or realize that within the trust that has an executor, trustee, and beneficiary, the beneficiary position is also where the excubitor position is. So he was the Count of the Excubitors, which means he got to count the excubitors and know just how many excubitors there were, who saw themselves as that instead of their properia persona, as a man of competent capacity, able to stand in his own square solidly, grounded on all layers of jurisdiction, calling what is right or true juris, or juris, and then diction being what a spoken wrote together. This is how we change it all. Why don't we trace back to the old patterns? Why don't we see what happens when we turn upside down and walk on our hands and learn how to command our feet as pointers, and to recognize our fingers are exactly that, and the points are the points of focus. And if we're all focused on my fingertip, that's a lot of energy going to my fingertip, which means the energy on my fingertip is going to grow. And you might get so invested into the fingertip that it draws more of your energy into the ethers. And does it really go to my finger if all time is happening now and you're looking at my finger now? Is it actually hitting my finger now simultaneously with everyone that ever watches this video over its entire lifespan online? I don't know. I'm just a woman in a backyard doing some handstands and sharing an important message and saying the April Writing Challenge is going to be when we're going to write our lives by 3. That is writing by hand, writing by check mark of a box, and then writing as a passage of rites, which we go through when we transform our self-image from who we thought we needed to be to then see the I Mage means I'm the fucking Magi Man. I'm the magic woman. I am the woman who has found the inner magic within me. You see, If you're not on the Telegram group, Peaceful Inner Warriors United Assembly, please make sure you check that out. It's where most is shared when online. And I have Peaceful Inner Warriors United website as well, piwu.ca. ljeh.ca can get you there too. both of those domains are mine, which means I've claimed those places in no man's land of the online Ethernet. And you get to connect with me there if you choose. Right here you can until or if that ever changes. And then it's hard to find those that you don't know how to locate them outside of a platform that you were both part of but then disappears, and then where do you find each other? Well, I know having backups matters. Knowing how to actually find each other geographically, to know where our dot of life is on this map of this place, whatever it is. I don't really care whether it's flat or round, to be fair. I just believe this is the plane that we are playing our lives out on, and I'd like to play better with those in my midst, which means I've connected myself to a community where there are more in our midst, because that's how we can rinse our inner waters of more of that which would have stayed trapped before, but then was able to move because we got ourselves with others who would help us move it. So that's why you're tuning in to this message right now. And what I can see is that it says there's only one who are here with me right now. And so to you, I say thank you. I love you. I hope that you continue to do the inner work to be the greatest and highest version of yourself. I hope that when you look to the others you feel you may be in competition with on the sphere or game of life, I hope you realize the only one that really matters is the one that is connected to the highest point you have access to. I hope you know that your highest self is the only version of you that you need to compare your life to, and that others will judge you regardless of whether you do it their way, your way, or someone else's way. So choose your own, but craft it wisely and connect yourself with people that care. People that are willing to be real in the way that we are moving towards culturally, because that's what those of us who care do. When we say artistry is about creating the life you want your masterpieces to have come from, realizing that your life itself is the greatest canvas that all of it comes from. So paint wisely. Find your inner magic, as the message started out to say. And know that the cast of characters is already here. It's just, will you show up or won't you? Your will is free. Free will. So you choose. Just choose wisely, knowing law of consequence. Choice and consequence means there will be a consequence to the choice you make, regardless of whether you think that it's in your greatest and highest or not. So find one that feels fun. And if it's fearful, recognize that there are trapped energies in that idea. The bird flies real close. And we have an opportunity to liberate that ideation of our energy by redirecting it onto something that will serve us better. And I believe that will serve us all much better. So I hope we'll choose that. I send love. Love a Jane, namaste, I'ma go for today. Thank you. I hope you'll send this a like. Seriously, it helps. Though, without being able to monetize, does it really matter? How do you get a warning that they won't take off unless you do a retraining? You won't do, because I'm not going to sacrifice who I am for no man, especially no entity. So, WTF are we going to do?